Hi, I'm Ivan Zoot. I am Clipper Guy, and on behalf of Marianna Schools, this short video shares with you the 3 important things you need to know to get the maximum performance and life out of your Andis Master Clipper. Watch these 3 things, know these 3 things, do these 3 things, and you will love your Andis Master Clipper. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. The first thing you need to know to get maximum performance from your Andis Master Clipper is about adjusting the armature. On the side of the clipper there are 2 screws, one with a slotted head and one with a specialty head. The big one with the specialty head is called the you don't ever touch it screw. Do you know what you do to that screw? You don't ever touch it. The little slotted screw, that's the armature adjustment screw. We're going to use that screw and a straight blade screwdriver to adjust the armature. What that refers to is controlling how far left and right the blade strokes in an individual blade stroke. Tightening up the screw compresses the stroke, loosening the screw expands the stroke. In order to get maximum performance from the clipper, you want as much stroke as possible, maximum stroke, before you hear the rattling sound when the armature starts to rattle up against the inside of the housing. The way you tune for maximum stroke: turn the clipper on, loosen the screw until that really bad, loud, noisy rattle happens, you'll hear it, and then tighten the screw back just until the rattling stops. Now you should hear the clack or clatter noise when the clipper first turns on. That thumpy click, that's normal for a magnetic armature clipper. However, it shouldn't be making this noise. That's way too noisy. That's the armature clattering. So now that we've loosened it to make it clatter, we're going to go the other direction. We're going to go clockwise just until the clattering stops. Just until it quiets. And the way you check it, put your fingers on either side and pinch. When you pinch like that, you should force a little clatter. That tells you you're getting maximum blade stroke, and maximum lateral blade stroke equals maximum power from your Andis Master Clipper. Thing number 1 is adjusting lateral blade movement with a screwdriver and the armature adjustment screw. The next thing you need to know, thing number 2, is how to adjust blade position. We already adjusted lateral blade stroke. Blade position deals with where is the non-moving blade. We call this one the non-moving blade or the lower blade. We call the moving blade the upper blade. Now don't get confused, because when we use the lever, the non-moving blade, yes, it moves. I know that could be a little tricky, but this is the non-moving blade, what we call the lower. The moving blade is the upper. What we're talking about with blade adjustment is where is the upper relative to the lower. And the object of the game is you want it even and parallel, so the top of the tips of the teeth of the moving blade do not extend past the top of the tips of the teeth of the non-moving blade. And the distance, what the engineers will call the gap, is the distance from the top of the tips of the teeth of the moving blade to the top of the tips of the teeth of the non-moving blade. That setback right there is called the gap, and it should be about the thickness of a natural human fingernail. So, in order to make that adjustment, you use a number 2 Phillips, not a smaller one, or you'll strip out the screw heads. You loosen but do not remove the blade screws on the back of the clipper. Loosen but do not remove. And you'll wiggle the blade into place, and you'll sight along the edge. I look down along the edge to see to it that it's parallel. One of the ways I check is with the fat, meaty part of my thumb, because if there's a tiny little tip of a tooth sticking out, I'll feel it when I push this way with my thumb. I'll feel it scratching. When we're sure we have it, we tighten the screws. And the way we tighten the screws is by walking the screws. If we tighten one screw all the way down to the bottom, when it gets to the bottom and applies pressure to the blade will kick or squirm, and you'll look at it and it'll be crooked again. So you've got to redo this a couple of times. Walk the screws down until they touch and are seated but not snug. Make any final checks to the blade. I will sometimes use the handle of my screwdriver to tap the blade one way or the other to get it just where I want it. Then I'll come back in and I'll tighten the 2 screws, alternating back and forth to walk them down. Now, number 1, we adjusted blade stroke. Number 2, we adjusted blade position. There's one thing left to know to get peak performance from your Andis Master Clipper. Okay, number 3, the last thing you need to know, the everyday thing you need to be doing, is cleaning and caring for your clipper properly. Number 1, fingernail brush or clipper cleaning brush, brush off any loose or accumulated hair anywhere around the blade area. Every clipper, every trimmer, every client, every time. Magnetic motor clippers can be very sensitive to lack of lubrication, not enough oil, or hair getting packed in the blade like that. So brush off any hair around the blade. Turn the clipper on with the clipper on and the clipper running. Apply 2 drops of oil directly down on the running teeth and apply 1 drop of oil to the inside rear corner of the moving blade, that upper blade. Let it run long enough to spread the oil between the blades. Too much oil is just as bad as not enough. Too much will attract dust, dirt, and hair clippings and gunk up the blade. Not enough oil and the blade will run dry. Let it run long enough to spread it. Pick up a neck strip. They're sanitary, they're convenient, and they're disposable. Wipe up any excess oil anywhere around the blade area. Cut hair. Do all the hair cutting you need to do. During an extended haircut, clipper lubricant, clipper cleaning spray, clipper coolant spray. Shut the clipper off. Spray the blade. During extended cutting, it reduces the temperature of the blade. As a cleaning product, it blasts hair clippings and things out from between the blades. It's also a lightweight lubricant, and most importantly, it is a sanitizing product. It's a disinfectant. When you're done with the cutting, when there's nothing left to cut off the customer, spray the blade, saturate the blade so it's good and wet, and it's got to be wet following the manufacturer's recommendations. Andis would prefer you use their Cool Care 5-in-1 product. This is clipper side from the barber side, folks, but read the back of the can for necessary contact timing information and follow the manufacturer's recommendation for contact timing for effective infection control in the salon. Those are the 3 things you need to know to get maximum performance in life out of your Andis Master. Armature adjustment for blade stroke, blade adjustment for blade positioning, and proper cleaning and sanitation every clipper, every client, and every time. Thanks for watching this video. I'm Clipper Guy. Have a great day.